Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with Arwen, who's currently ignoring me because I woke her up from a really deep nap so I could record her. So now she's pretending I don't exist. And we're out here today because I have been talking about different medical issues that can pop up with your goats. And today I wanted to talk about coccidiosis or coccidia. Now, coccidia is normal in that it is always present in your goats. Okay, they all have it. All of them. Arwen's got it. Everyone's got it. It is absolutely normal in goats of all ages. It's basically a single-cell parasite called Coccidia. You're going to go back to sleep. Yeah. But it's a single-celled parasite that basically lives in the intestinal tract of pretty much all goats. Hi. Pretty much all goats. Okay? Pretty much, anyway. So it's a normal thing to have on your farm. Absolutely normal. When it becomes a problem is when you end up with a parasite load that is too heavy for your goat to handle. And that happens almost exclusively in little ones, okay? Kids, babies, baby goats. So in your baby goats, I'm going to come bother you again. Yes, I'm going to come bother you again. I'm going to bother you. She's like, oh my God. Chicken. Some of us are just trying to take a nap. She's like, oh my God. I know, I'm bugging you. But coccidia is not normally a problem in a healthy adult goat. However, it is potentially fatal to young kids, little ones. Okay? So your little goat develops an overload of coccidia, they can die. Okay? It's potentially fatal. Chicken. Hi, sweetie. So, what can you do? First of all, you have to know that this parasite is probably present just in your soil. It just exists, okay? So, completely avoiding it's not really possible. It's just around. It's here everywhere. It doesn't matter. So, it exists anyway. However, if it flares up and your babies get an overload, too much of it, too much of this parasite in their system, you're going to have a problem. So potential symptoms usually include belly pain. So usually if a goat is more than 2 weeks old, okay, still a baby, but over 2 weeks, and they're exhibiting signs of having a belly pain, like they're crying or they won't lie down because it hurts too much, then you also, at that point, also check for diarrhea. If it's dark, watery, and is maybe streaked with mucus or blood, you're probably dealing with coccidia. And it can kill your babies. One, it's going to dehydrate the heck out of them. Okay? So you have to start treatment. You can't wait. The moment you see these symptoms, grab a stool sample, get that stool sample to your vet. I call my vet and make him come out. Because I'm not dealing with it. I do not want to lose babies. So I call my vet, make him come out. When we had babies. Obviously, she's not a baby anymore. She is 2.5 and ignoring me. What about if I fuss with you some more? What if I bother you? What if I bother you? Oh. She's like, no. Don't even. She's like, go away. You're funny. You're funny. She's like, I'm not talking to you right now. I know, baby. I make your life hard. So, anyway, I call the vet. Get the vet out. Get that stool sample to the vet to confirm. But while you're waiting for that confirmation, kind of proceed like it is coccidia anyway. Because coccidia can kill pretty quick, especially because you're talking babies. So you're going to need a coccidia treatment. My favorite is called Baycox. That's the name it goes by here in Canada. It might go by a different name where you are. But my favorite is that. There is Corid or Amprolium. However, Corid's really hard on goats. So I use Corid on my chickens if they get coccidia, if we have a problem, especially with baby chicks. But Baycox is better for goats. So I like using Baycox. Okay, because it's just a little bit easier on their intestinal tract and a little bit easier for them to recover from. However, if Baycox doesn't work, I will switch to Corid for my goats. Okay, it's really, really important that you treat. And if the Baycox doesn't work, you got to switch it up. You're also going to need to rehydrate because they're going to be incredibly, incredibly dehydrated. They're going to need electrolytes. They're going to need vitamins. I use Nutri-Drench. You're going to have to really kind of come down on all sides to try to keep the goat existing, basically, because it can be very, very difficult to first deal with coccidia and then handle the treatment. So you're going to have to be on top of it. There is a chicken pecking my leg. Stop it. Anyway, so it's really, really important that you be on top of that. Some people like to feed medicated feed to prevent any potential coccidia flare-ups. I don't like medicated feed. Some people it works really well. I don't like over-medicating. I prefer to medicate when I have to, not when I don't have to. She's so annoyed by me right now. She's like, I am taking a nap. But yes, so you can use medicated feed. It's fine, but I prefer not to use medicated feed. Instead, I prefer to keep the areas where the babies are really, really clean. Clean up those poops really fast. Monitor the babies basically incessantly. I spend a lot of time monitoring baby goats when I have baby goats. So definitely you want to be on top of making sure they're eating, making sure they're getting enough, because especially if you've got three babies, mama might not be able to feed them all. So then they're, at risk of coccidia again, not because lack of food causes it, but because they need to be in tip-top shape in order to not succumb to it. So you want to make sure the babies are moving around, that they look healthy. If they look questionable, have the vet do a fecal. I know I talk about fecals all the time, but that's the best way to figure out if your goat is having a problem, especially in babies. Act fast with coccidia. You can't really wait. You can't go, well, I'll see how they're doing next week, because they'll be dead by next week. So you absolutely 100% have to stay on top of making sure that your baby goats do not have coccidia, and if they do, you have to treat fast, because coccidia is really dangerous in the little ones. But they all have it. So she's got coccidia in her. Okay, that parasite is living in her. The other thing to know, if she has coccidia, she can't pass it to the chicken. Okay, coccidia is species specific. So just because your chickens have coccidia doesn't mean your goats are going to all get sick. It's very species specific. It's kind of like lice. So lice like one species and not another. Same with coccidia. So you don't have to worry about it transferring from your sheep to your donkeys, for example. It doesn't. So you're only going to be having to deal with it in the one species, unless more than one species on your farm is dealing with it all at the same time, but it's not the same organism. Okay, it's not the same parasite. They are different versions for different species, basically. Anyway, if your goats develop coccidia, start treatment right away. Coccidia treatment is one of those things that if you can get it from your vet and have it on hand, I do recommend it, mostly because that way you can start treatment really, really fast. Okay, follow your vet's recommendations for what treatment works best in your area, because that may change as well. But generally, treat fast. Don't let it go. If you let it go, baby goats aren't super resilient anyway. Your babies might not make it if you wait too long. But that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.